Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we're going to talk about Apple because Apple may soon face an antitrust lawsuit here in the United States. This is coming from TechCrunch and Politico, and here's what's going on. The U.S. Department of Justice is in the early stages of drafting an antitrust law against Apple, and that's according to sources cited by Politico in a report that was released a few days ago just before the weekend. Now, while the new report suggested that a potential lawsuit could arrive by the end of the year, it also stressed that the final decision about if or when the DOJ would sue Apple has not yet been made. That's why I'm saying there may have a lawsuit. Now, a 2019 deal, if you didn't know, between U.S. regulators had allowed the Justice Department to take up investigations of Apple and Google, while the Federal Trade Commissioner, FTC, basically took up investigations of other big tech companies like Amazon and Facebook. Now, in Apple's case, the DOJ has been examining whether or not Apple abused its market power to dominate smaller tech companies, including both hardware and software makers. Now, Apple's tight control of its App Store has angered developers who want to be able to market their apps directly to their consumers and take their own payments without having to pay commission to Apple. This is also, if you recall, the subject of the Fortnite developers Epic Games' lawsuit against Apple that is now under appeal. Now, the DOJ's investigation into Apple businesses practices has been taking place for some time. Reuters, the news agency, reported in February of 2020 that the Department of Justice had begun reaching out to app developers as part of its examination of Apple's business practices. Those initial discussions had included makers of a parental control app that were pulled from the App Store for non-compliance with Apple policies. One developer said their app was pulled for 6 months, causing them to lose half of their business, and that is just one example of many. Now, separately, Apple has been accused by AirTag rival Tile, now owned by Life60, as engaging in unfair competition. When Apple's AirTag launched, it did so with direct access to iPhone's ultra-wideband technology for precision finding capabilities and deep integration into the Apple's own quote-unquote Find My app ecosystem. Now, Tile has argued that it shouldn't have to give up its direct relationship with its customers through its own app in order to compete with Apple's hardware by becoming just another quote-unquote Find My partner. In addition, Tile said that Apple's decision to enter this market would allow it to easily dominate because of its first-party advantage and ecosystem power. This is something that Amazon has consistently done, given that they have a massive marketing base and a massive consumer base. So when I come out with an amazing thing and they just rip it off, everybody's going to buy the Amazon one and I get shafted. This has happened over and over. I've talked about that before. So it's not unique to Apple, but this does happen at the big tech level, and I think it stifles innovation. Now, Politico also said that DOJ lawyers in San Francisco are leading the Apple investigation and have been reaching out to companies that partner with Tile and obviously others as well. Those meetings indicate that the lawyers are looking basically to frame a case that was not just about the App Store, but about Apple's mobile operating system or iOS more broadly, according to reports. So we're going to see where this goes, but obviously this is a very serious issue, and these antitrust lawsuits I think are a good thing, especially if there's enough evidence to put it in front of a jury, because I think basically the Apples of the world, while they tend to make innovative products, also stifle innovation, essentially if they see this. So Tile had been out for years before the AirTag, probably saw the success of that and said, we can build this into our own ecosystem, and because it's so natively integrated, there you go. Microsoft had this back in the 1990s. Under the browser wars, when they basically required every copy of Windows to be installed with Internet Explorer, thus basically people saying, why should I go and download Netscape or Mozilla or anything else that was coming out in that era, because Internet Explorer was there, Internet Explorer worked, a lot of developers were working for it, and that kind of stifled in some ways innovation. Now, obviously, Chrome rules the roost right now, but here we are. So we'll see where this goes. That is your interesting news of the day, and we're going to see, and I'd love to hear if you think Apple should be sued or not. Do you think Apple's going to be sued or not? Let me know. I'd love to have that conversation. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter, where you can comment. Same with YouTube, where you should subscribe to me. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everyone.